Hi, I'm Andrew Farquhar, the founder of Liberty Digital, and this is the Snackable Marketing Podcast, where I give you compact but highly actionable and valuable tips that you can use right away to improve your business online. Today's topic is going to be how to create a content marketing schedule and why it's important to have one. So content marketing is super valuable. It's a great way to bring traffic into your website and to convert that traffic into clients. But it has some real drawbacks. One of them is it's very time consuming and it's very challenging for that reason. I struggled with this for a while to make content that's valuable, but also a lot of it as fast as possible. And this is really the number one challenge people have with content is making a lot of it and not burning out after like a year. But I found that having a content marketing schedule really changed the ball game for me and allowed me to stay on track. I knew what was expected, when I was going to do it, what I was going to talk about or write about. So it was huge in that regard. I loved it. So in the last episode, I talked about how to 3x your content output, and that spreading your content out over many formats will save you time. Another way to save time and your sanity is to use a content marketing schedule like I was just talking about. Creating lots of high quality content is tough, and if you're not careful, you can easily drown in the flood of content you need to make and promote. And that's where having a content marketing schedule comes in. Because it'll put everything down on paper, nice logical order, and that you can wrap your head around and allow you to schedule the rest of your life more easily. So for today, the topic is a content marketing schedule, but really the name of the game is organization and definition. I'm a big fan of organization and defining things so they're not ambiguous. You know exactly what's expected, what's needed, and when. And that's what a content marketing schedule is going to do for you. So let's talk about how to make one so you can implement it right away. So first of all, are you an individual or a large team? The answer will impact what kind of scheduling solution would work best for you. Agencies with lots of team members will be more suited for a robust solution like CoSchedule, whereas an individual can get away with simply using a spreadsheet or a list to plan out their content output. So regardless of the solution you choose, or that's best for your needs, you'll need to come up with a number of how many pieces of content you plan to create and promote within a given time period. So for instance, 4 podcasts a month, maybe 2 videos a week, 2 long-form blog posts a month. Whatever that number is, pick something that you can go with for the long term. You can modify your schedule at any time, but your audience is going to start to expect content at regular intervals. So making changes isn't really the best idea. Once you've got your number or numbers, if it's multiple formats, it's time to create a list of topics. So you fill in your calendar or spreadsheet or paper with a list of topics you'll cover in the future. And try to fill up the calendar for a full year's worth of topics or content. So if you're doing 1 long form blog post per month, try to come up with 12 blog posts. At this point, you know how much content you're going to be creating in a given period of time and what the topics are going to be. So now it's time to start filling in critical pieces of information like possible headlines to use as well as keyword phrases. That way, when it's time to dive into the next item, you already have a starting point and you're ready to go. If you're working with a team of content producers, this is a great time to assign specific tasks to each member, who's going to promote, who's going to create, who's going to edit all the content. Defining everything in advance will help reduce the stress and let everybody know what's expected of them and when. And lastly, don't forget to schedule in promoting your content. It doesn't matter how good the content is. If no one knows it exists, they can't enjoy it. So make sure you devote significant resources to promoting your content and increasing its reach. There's lots of tech tools you can use to automate this process to make it even easier and faster for you. Buffer is one of my favorites. CoSchedule includes it with their social sharing features. I've found no one tool will do it all, but you might need several. But once you've got the right tools in place, promoting becomes much less daunting. And that's great because some people use the 20-80 rule, where 20% of their time is spent to creating content and 80% of the time is devoted to promoting that content. Some people go with 50-50, but that's still quite a large amount of time, so it's great to systemize it and automate it as much as possible. So now you've got the basics of a content calendar in place and ready to be set up. You can start hitting the publish button without losing your sanity. Thanks for listening, and I hope you found this episode helpful. If you did, please share it with your network and definitely connect with me on LinkedIn or Twitter. In the next episode, I'll be discussing adding video to your content strategy and how it can take your business to a whole nother level. So definitely tune in for that, and thanks again for listening.